to every Liberian, because this civil society, this LIMASA, that is the Liberia Massacre Survivor Association, is what you will not know how your father was killed. Many people that today didn't know that their mother and father was buried. If I tell you what happened in your town and village now, you will be surprised. Today we're talking about the World Cup. Our just started since 2006. When you see how people varying their information, get to former President Joel Hotel, get to data information. More than more, I started to keep following the process. And I told people, I don't want to go this job. Everybody will have to let you go. Somebody will advocate for people. We must unify ourselves. Unity is better. Liberia is divided in a local or one election that brought the Ambassador Iman Baka to power. There's a very big division. You're talking about 20,000 human beings that Ambassador Baka won. That's a very big division. But you know, our leaders have been the one that failed this country. Our leaders have been the one failed this country. Leaders now want to reconcile us. Leaders want to get to the majesty there and forget about us. They will come to you and must say, we immersion time. If cassava people will not raise their prayer, what can we go? At the end of the conversation, so let me go, we let go our own. I learned from my father, Councillor Tiago, and Dr. Tupaman, the best brother Emmanuel, like Libya speak ahead when it's left behind. We talk about peace. If we get the peace, we will reconcile the country. But we want the peace now, we don't we forget about what we said before. Reconciliation will work us like Libya. Let us hold our leader into the fire. We're talking about the World this one when people see leadership. You have played your part and you continue to play your part. You do extremely well on the establishment of war and economic growth. I come here with a document I will share to the video of high school, colleges, universities so that you can see. Look, if we have the World Cup, like Libya will be on the red path. Let me tell you this. Many Nigerians have never seen the CRC before. People never know the World Cup. The CRC mentioned that the reservation for each and every one of us are people. The reservation, there are 3 counts of reservation. Symbolic collected individual. You lost property. Our father, our mother lost property. We are going to get 100% of the law or 50% to cut down that program business together. It will be a CRC people. We have the resources to do that. But when we talk about residents, people, man reflect on program. People cry around here. People ready to home. This is not what we want. It's part of the majority so that we can go there with peace. You know what happened today? Free taking instrument for each other. Just in corporate time. More democracy. More democracy. More back. I've been told today. Things people have been told wrong. Like this is very painful. This is very, very painful. But we have to unify. I will take the time to read the petition and see how best we can have my own and the organizing committee gave me this to read. But like me, this is the time. If we miss the evangelical backup time, not to reconcile, it will take a very long time. One of the days we will not be around you to reconcile. We will cry around you. I want to say thank you to every one of us. Our Muslim mother, we want to say thank you. Every one of us fought for the peace that we are sitting here to do, drinking coffee together. The Christian community, I say thank you. Liberian, let us unite. This short story before I go to the petition. My father at the Lutheran church, when he was on his dying bed, when he was hit by bullet, he told me, Peterson, bullets. I said, Dad, you have to be patient. The whole place was bright as you and myself sit here. Soldier was shooting. I couldn't wake up my head to go and get water for him. He was thirsty. I was lying down in a pool of blood, all over blood flowing from all over. What happened? There were a lot of those people that ran, killing people. But then, George, Dwell's son, and myself today, we can meet and sit on the table and eat together. I don't keep anything. It's only called payback. But equally so, we must fight for justice. We should fight for justice. And to Ambassador Joseph Yumambwaka for his executive order 1, 2, and 3 to sign the War Crime Code. And now Liberia, we're thinking on the venue, we're thinking on the roadmap. That meeting will be held by this week Thursday. And we're inviting every one of you to be there. Let us share the idea. Let's see how Liberia can move. I want to say thank you to all the Better Foundation, BFF, Article 1. Yes, Article 1 of the 1986 Constitution said that the power is inherited in you and I. Not one person. It's not one person at all. It's every one of us. This is why sometimes
so that is my emotions by the gentleman on the podium. It's been reflecting on the Liberian Civil War, where the community lost his father during the Lutheran Church massacre in Sinka. Today is the eve of Unification Day, May 14th every year. It's bitterly crying. And the focus came around. You know what? Why is he crying? So if you just joined us, my name is Prince. We're here at the auditorium of the University of Liberia, here off Capitol Hill. This is the main campus of the University of Liberia. My name is Prince. This is Focus on Liberia Television. The guy is still very console there. After that, he can continue with the video of the statement. I don't know why he's crying. He's been console and he left. Try to compose himself. It's good.
Okay, so please. Please, listen to the petition.
Without it.
Civil society organizations under the umbrella of Partners for Democracy and Good Governance petition to the 55th National Legislature of Liberia for the government of Liberia to take deliberate actions and steps to unify, reconcile, and integrate the whereas Better Future Foundation Incorporated BFF is a duly accredited civil society organization with the government of Liberia. Whereas a consortium of recognized and duly accredited civil society organizations, human rights, and pro-democracy organizations have grouped under the umbrella of the Partners for Democracy and Good Governance. Whereas Article 1 of the 1986 Constitution of Liberia enumerates that all power is inherent in the people and all free governments are instituted by their authority and for their benefit. Whereas Article 5 of the Constitution states that the Republic of Liberia shall aim at strengthening the national integration and unity of the people of Liberia, regardless of ethnic, regional, or other differences, into one body policy, and the legislature shall enact laws promoting national unification and the encouragement of all citizens to participate in government. Whereas Article 8 of the Constitution of Liberia states that the Republic shall direct its policy towards ensuring for all citizens without discrimination opportunities for employment and livelihood under just and human conditions towards promoting safety, health, and welfare. Whereas Article 17 of the Constitution further states that all persons at all times in an orderly and peaceable manner shall have the right to assemble and consult upon the common good to instruct their representatives to petition the government or other functionaries for the redress of grievances. Whereas the National Pledge of Allegiance of Liberia, which states, "I pledge allegiance to the flag of Liberia and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all." This pledge provides the foundational principles for unification, justice, and inclusive governance of Liberia. To the contrary, since the founding of Liberia 200 years ago, and since the passage of the National Unification and Integration Policy 60 years ago, national reconciliation and unification are yet to be actualized in Liberia with widespread division across the country. Whereas the National Unification Policy was to bridge the social, economic, and political barriers and differences in the country and to further unite and integrate the indigenous population with that of the settlers. Whereas 200 years on, since the founding of the Liberian state in 1822 and 60 years after the formal launch of the National Unification and Integration Policy in 1964, actualizing genuine peace, reconciliation, and integration remains a critical challenge in Liberia. Whereas successive administrations of the Liberian government have failed to actualize genuine peace, reconciliation, and integration of the Liberian people, consistent with Article 5 of the 1986 Constitution of Liberia. Now, therefore, we, the citizens of Liberia, represented by duly accredited civil society, human rights, and pro-democracy organizations, under the umbrella of Partners for Democracy and Good Governance (PDG), and acting under the authority of the 1986 Constitution of Liberia and the National Unification and Integration Policy of Liberia, hereby petition the National Legislature of Liberia for the following reasons. 1. That the government of Liberia through the National Legislature should appropriate funds through the fiscal budget to facilitate programs, projects, and activities to commemorate National Unification Day nationwide. I know you will not clap for that. 2. That the government of Liberia should provide support for the establishment of the Unification Diaspora Initiative (UDI), which will seek to identify and engage Liberians in the diaspora to contribute to unification, integration, sustainable peace, and inclusive development in Liberia, and to at all times exhibit lawful good sense to promote national self-esteem abroad. 3. That the unification monument in Bonema City, which you just saw, in Lofa County, should be renovated so as to revive and preserve the facility, which is a symbol for the unification and integration of the country and to host tourists and inspire the ideal of patriotism among Liberians. 4. That the government of Liberia should build a war memorial. The government of Liberia should build a war memorial to remember all the lives lost during the Liberian Civil War and to remind Liberians never again to resort to violence to solve any issue that may arise between and or among themselves. 5. That the government of Liberia should initiate regular government civil society dialogue. Government civil society dialogue as to remain constructively engaged within the scope. Civil society organizations are adequately informed and supported of the government policies and national development agenda as the dialogue broadly seeks to bridge the gap of low citizen perception of and further improve public confidence in the government. 6. That the government of Liberia should facilitate national discussion, aid in the formulation of a policy, and enact a law to address the plight of senior citizens in order to meet its social welfare obligations. These senior citizens contributed to development of Liberia in yesteryear, but are now experiencing glaring neglect, abandonment, and they have limited access to pension and social security benefits. Lastly, 7. That the government of Liberia should support the compilation and Unification Day celebration compendium from 2014 to 2024 to aid the teaching of civics and peace building in learning institutions in Liberia. When this compendium is published digitally, Liberians in the diaspora and in the country will benefit from the literature, and this will lead to a ripple effect in preserving the sustenance of peace in the country. Presented on this 13th day of May AD 2024, honor our heads in the city of Monrovia. And this petition is signed by Better Future Foundation, People United for Peace in Liberia, Voices of the Elders, Republic of Liberia, Rural Human Rights Activist Program, Liberia Institute of Rural Patriotism, National Civil Society Council of Liberia, Youth Beyond Barriers, Women Beyond Borders, and Conglomeration of Civil Society Organizations. Thank you very much.
So that was the reading of a petition statement from several civil society organizations. Thanks for joining us. My name is Prince. Again, taking a very short break. We will join you as the program continues.
Like the people uniting for peace in Nigeria, our motto is